Who's Miami? Who is Texas A&M? Year 2, Mario Cristobal. Have to have that statement win in South Beach to get people believing in the process, believing in everything he's trying to build. Texas A&M, conversely, last week did what they needed to do. They beat the hell out of an inferior opponent. Connor Wigman looked good. The Bobby Petrino, Jimbo Fisher marriage, week 1. Hey, 4 or 5-star talent. Let's come together. Let's win a football game. Going to Miami. You may be in the 80s. That was probably a tough ask with the Orange Bowl and how loud it was. Hard Rock Stadium, so far away from campus. What kind of support were they going to get? It wasn't a game that Texas A&M circled and said, hey, this is going to be a tough place to play. Well, they should have. Because now when you look at that game, what did we learn now? And the Feinbaum conversation with this is fascinating. Because now you've got Mario Cristobal waking up this morning, getting that statement win, beating a ranked team with a ton of talent and beating them pretty damn good. Tyler Van Dyke, 5 touchdown passes, career high for him. First time a Miami quarterback has passed for 5 touchdowns against a ranked team, I believe, since 2002. And so everything showed up for Miami yesterday, even the defense. So the questions now around Miami is, okay, how do you build on this? How do you now stack wins on top of each other to play and face some of these teams in the ACC, like Clemson, like Florida State? Those 2 teams appear to be among the elite in the league because NC State, they got beat down against Notre Dame. We'll get into that later. So the ACC wide open. Miami can walk right in, no divisions, and play for an ACC championship. But a statement win from Miami has them at the point now where you have to start believing. Cristobal had a tough year 1, had to flip the roster, had to go out and recruit. This is one of those games you package up nice and tight and say, see, what we're doing works. Conversely, Jimbo Fisher, there are problems at Texas A&M. There are absolute problems with the Aggies. You cannot, under any circumstances, go on the road with more talent than the Hurricanes and get absolutely pummeled like you did. Little by little, the whispers are going to become talks. The talks are going to become yells, and there's going to be a 5-alarm fire with the Texas A&M Aggies because this stage of Jimbo's career in Texas A&M, you can't do that. You cannot get beat like that on the road. And if you look at the SEC big picture, let's think about this for a minute. Think about the SEC West. The 3 best teams in the SEC West, LSU, out-of-conference beatdown against Florida State, Alabama, out-of-conference loss, and frankly, beat up pretty good to Texas. And now Texas A&M, out-of-conference loss and a beatdown to Miami. Those are the SEC West, in my opinion, 3 best teams. And they've all got losses out of conference and handled pretty well. And so with A&M and with Jimbo, how do you figure this thing out now? Because I'm telling you, year 6, patience was wearing thin last year. Maybe this year you're a sleeper. Maybe this year you're part of a conversation that, I don't know, maybe you surprise a couple people. They're not surprising anybody. They got worked against Miami. So cheers to the Hurricanes, Mario Cristobal, Tyler Van Dyke. We're waiting word on Cam Kitchens, that scary moment towards the end of the game. Afterwards, Mario said that he remains optimistic that everything was going to be okay. We certainly hope that's the case. That was the one downside to Miami's win yesterday, was that awful injury towards the end of the game. But big picture, if you've heard me say it once, you've heard me say it 1,000 times. Programs like Florida State, Miami, Texas, Tennessee coming back. You know, we want Nebraska to come back. We'll get to them in a minute. But these programs coming back into the national spotlight is good for college football to join right now.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.